Hello. Today, Megan, I'm just gonna go through um, what we talked about the other night with the granny squares. I just want to make sure you know and understand how to do the granny square properly. And since I really don't want to write it all out, I'm just gonna show you what I do, and hopefully it comes across as understandable. So I'm just gonna flip the computer over so you can see what I'm doing, okay? So for the middle of the granny square, I'm just using this darker color here. And then for squaring off the circle, I'm using a gray yarn, okay? So I will get started. First thing we need to do is make the magic circle. So remember to have a long enough tail for when we close off the circle later. You want, like I try to do about twice the length of my hand. That just tends to be as a good rule, depending on the size of your hands. Anyways, wrap over, making sure that your working yarn is wrapped over your tail. Now, you'll see you have a circle in the front and then the back. The one in the back needs to go under, sorry, this isn't turning out very good. Go under the one in the back. And then after that, take your working yarn and slip it through. Okay, yarn slipped through already. And then just tying it up here using your working yarn as support. Because basically all you did was make a slip knot with a circle in it. This is your stitch, your slip knot, and this is your circle. So it's really important you get the two identified or else you're going to have some problems. Okay? Tying up your slip knot, chain 3. 1, okay, that was 1, 2, 3. Now that counts as your first double crochet. Yarn over and make another double crochet. Go through the first 2 loops, then through the last 2 loops, and that's done. Okay, you have 2 double crochets right now. We need 16 double crochets in the circle in total, so you need to make 14 more. I'll go through the next few with you. Okay, yarn over, go into the circle, grab some yarn, first 2 circles, last 2 circles. Yarn over, grab yarn, first 2 loops, second 2 loops. Yarn over, grab yarn, first 2, second 2. So let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, go through, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, pardon me, I got a knot here. 16. Now you should have 16 double crochets in your circle. I'm going to now pull my tail. If you need to untwist it from your circle, you can do that. Don't pull your working yarn because it's not going to go too far if you have your crochet hook in. And if you don't have the crochet hook in, it will destroy your project. So take the tail, not the working yarn, the tail, and as you pull it, you'll notice your circle gets smaller. Just kind of go with your fingers to adjust the circle. You got to pull it real tight because the whole point of this magic circle is to make it that there's no hole in the middle. So don't be afraid to pull nice and tight. So now that it's pulled tight, slip stitch into the top of the chain 3, just like so. Now I'm going to fasten off because I got a different color for the square for squaring off, so you can see the difference on camera. But if you wish to use just one color of yarn, that's fine too. Perfect. Thank you. I'm videotaping right now.
Oh, I thought you were talking to somebody live.
Okay. So the circle's done. Okay. Sorry for the delay. That was just a scrap piece of yarn because I pulled instead of cut to cut off my yarn. Okay, now how I explain it to children is that your double crochets are like sticks. So go between any two of the sticks, and that's called a space. So right here, I'm just going to go into that space. Now, if you're starting with the same color, you should go into a space that's relatively close by. You don't want to go to the opposite direction because you're going to have a great big gap of yarn that's going to look not nice. So what I just did was go into the space and I chained 3. Okay? Yarn over, go into that same space and do a double crochet. Now see, your chain 3 counts as a double crochet because that's how you start the double crochets. And then it's like a mock double crochet if you want to call it that. And then this is your other double crochet. Chain 2, 1, 2, and go into that same space. 1, 2. Go into that same space again for another double crochet. First 2 loops, last 2 loops. Okay. At this point, you've made the first corner. Chain 1. Now skip 2 of these sticks, these double crochets, and go into the next space. Do 2 double crochets in that, like I just did. Chain 1, and you're going to make another corner. After 2 sticks, make a corner in this space right there. Okay, chain 2, 1, 2. 2 more double crochets in there. See how you made your first corner? This is an edge. and this is the second corner. So all we need is another edge, a corner, another edge, corner, and one last edge, and then you got a square. But we'll all get into that together. Chain 1, skip 2 sticks, go into the next space, double crochet 1, 2, chain 1. Now for our next corner, skip 2, double crochets 2 sticks, go into the next space, 2, okay, see, you've made, do you kind of notice how it's starting to look like a square? Or I guess an L shape right now, but I promise you it's going to look like a square when we're done. Chain 1. Okay, you made your next side. You chained 1, go into the next space, and then make 2 double crochets for your next side. Yarn over, skip 2, go into that space, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, 2 more double crochets after that, chain 2. Now you should have ideally 4 double crochets left in here, which I do at this point. If you ever had it where you only had 3 double crochets left, you could just go into the middle double crochet, and it tends to look okay. Like anyone who crochets will notice, but you know, the general person won't really see it. Okay, so now that I got 4 in this case, I'm gonna go in that space, skip the 2, go in the space after the 2 double crochets in the circle, make your last side, chain 1, and now we're going to do a slip stitch just like we did in the circle to complete it. We're going to do it with the square. So on top of that chain 3, just slip stitch in, and there you have it. I'm just going to fasten off. Now it's really important for future lessons to have good long tails, because that will really help you as you're sewing in your ends to ensure that that they don't come apart again. Because if someone snips it and then this comes apart, it's quite difficult to put it back together. So, you know, if you have tails like this, I know they look very long and it does create a lot of waste, but I'd rather have a little bit of waste than my project getting destroyed. So anyways, that is that. We will see you later, and happy crocheting. Bye bye.